Ay, yeah. Ay, ay, ay. Miracles come while we in the fight. Don't give up and hold him tight. You will have a visible battle scar, but never forget who you are and fight, fight, fight.
Hello, and welcome to Embracing the Fight. I am Erica Lamar, your digital creator and host. I created Embracing the Fight to help normalize the conversation surrounding physical and mental health issues and concerns. And we're in a series now of very special people that are coming in to share their stories so they can help other people heal. This episode is going to be absolutely amazing. So take a moment, sit down, listen, and please share, subscribe, and like this episode. It can touch millions, it can help so many, and it could potentially save lives. Take a listen. All right, we're going to jump right in. I have a very special guest today, and the title of this episode is My Expected but Unexpected Journey. And as you can see, I have a very beautiful person on the screen with me. I'm going to let you all know who she is by her giving a introduction of herself. And then she's going to tell you why she named the episode, what she named it, and how we met.
Okay. My name is Ulanda McClinton. I am currently a case manager at River Edge in mental health. I was diagnosed with breast cancer March 2019. And how I know Erica is through Upward Bound. She was my roommate.
Yes.
My roommate, and here we go.
All right.
Meeting up again.
Yes, and it feels just like yesterday. But
yeah.
I was really curious as to why you named the episode what you named it, My Expected but Unexpected Journey.
Okay. It's really, really, and people who have discernment can probably feel me. It's almost like a spiritual thing. My dad, we were coming back from Danville in his truck. Mm-hmm. And he looked over at me and he said, this was in my early 20s. I was married, had my babies and everything. Mm-hmm. And he just looked out of the blue and said, you need to get your breath checked. Now right, he said breath. He don't know how to say breast. He didn't know how to say breast, but I was like, what? And he said it again.
You want to get your attention.
Right. So he was so serious. He was in a serious mode. He really was. And that stuck with me. Mm-hmm. Fast forward to 40, when I came in for my checkup, when you turn 40, my nurse practitioner was like, okay, so it's time. You're 40 years old. Mm-hmm. It's time to get your breast exam. So that's what eventually led me to there. But the funny thing is, when she gave me the paperwork to take to the breast cancer center, I let it sit for a couple of months.
Oh wow.
I did. I let it sit because I didn't want to go. Okay. And it's like something inside of me was saying that this was going on. And it's really crazy. Like I said, discernment, you knowing that something's gonna happen. You didn't know what, but I was so scared to go. So I eventually went and had the mammogram and got the phone call maybe a couple of weeks after saying that I needed to come back in because they saw something. Okay. And when I got that phone call that I needed to come back in, I knew. I knew what it was even before they told me, yes, it's cancer. So I knew. And I remember calling my ex-husband and pretty much preparing him for my death.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I really did. I didn't see anything else, but I was like, okay, so I'm letting you know this. You're going to have to take care of our son. But he was like, what are you talking about? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't even, what's the word? He didn't even buy into it. Right. But that's how that happened. And I went back and it was confirmed that it was not even a stage yet. It was my left breast invasive ductal carcinoma. I think that's how you say it, but that's what I was diagnosed with.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when you first found out, besides your ex-husband, who else did you talk to? Did you have a good like support system when it came to it?
I probably would have, but I didn't want to. I told my mama, not towards the end, but I waited like a whole month to tell my mama because we had just lost my dad some years before, so I didn't want to put that on her. But yeah, my ex-husband, my boyfriend at the time, he was very, very supportive. And then I eventually told my son.
Okay. And
Yeah.
what was that like, telling your son? Because it's always difficult to see your child and you sitting there thinking like, oh, am I gonna see him, graduate? Am I gonna
Graduate.
see,
Girl, that
all
was
these
the
things,
thing.
like, am I gonna make it? And you trying to explain it to him so he understands. What was that like?
That was really, really hard. And it was hard just because he lost his I had another son passed away. He lost his grandfather, both grandfathers. Um, it was just a lot. But when I told him, he's so composed. I know he has that what I call discernment too. He knew something was up. He went outside and I think he punched the car, like or something like that. He did, and he came back in composed, like nothing really happened. Yeah, that was the situation with him, but that was the hardest thing, like telling him, and telling my mom.
Okay. And
Yeah.
what about like the treatment? What type of treatment did you actually have to help cure you of the breast cancer?
Well, I had both breasts removed. I had the option of just having the one that was infected, remove that surgery. Um, but the nurse, me and her talked, Cindy, I have to mention her name,
Hey,
since she
Sandy.
was very supportive of me. I remember, I guess I'm going back, but I remember when the doctor came in and he said, yeah, we see a little cancer here. And she was walking behind him. And it, you know, in that moment, I was okay. I was like, all right. And then maybe 2 minutes later, I started to cry because I was by myself. And she was like, no, we're gonna fight this. We're gonna fight
Okay.
this. And then right. And so when we started talking about surgery, she was like, well, they do the boob jobs, and she was making it look real good. She was making it look real good. She was like, now you can get both done. You can pick out the size that you want and everything. So that I'm telling you, the staff there at the cancer center, so supportive, very supportive of me during that whole process. But yeah, so I had both removed. And then a year after that, I had a hysterectomy, which was a whole nother devastation. Because the guy that I was dating at the time, he didn't have kids.
Oh, yeah.
So I had to have that conversation with him. And of course, he was like, you do whatever you need to do to survive. Because I know a lot of breast cancer survivors know that they tell you being diagnosed with that, it can, yeah, there's the risk of having cervical cancer.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
In the uterus. So that was why that's why I did that. I just went on and did everything that I could do to save my life, pretty much.
So, what did that do, to your mental state? Because I hear a lot of women that say after they've had a hysterectomy or they've had both breasts removed, they don't feel, as feminine anymore. And I'm looking at you, hair done, makeup done, you look beautiful. So I'm just wondering, how did you feel?
Girl, I'm being completely raw. I did have a boyfriend. And at the time, having the breast removed and just the numbness, my feelings are gone in my breast area. So, of course, I do feel, well, I don't anymore, but I did feel less than a woman. I felt, and being not able to produce a child for him, knowing that I'm talking to this guy and he has no kids. So that was devastating in itself. Yeah, I had all the feels, but now, 5 years later, I did what I had to do.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
I mean,
I
how did
did.
you get past it? How would you, if you were sitting talking to, say, a young woman that's maybe in her 20s and she doesn't have any
Mm-hmm.
kids and she has to do, the exact same thing, how do you tell her, to get back to herself, that it's going to be okay?
I think that's one's own journey that she has to determine, um, as far as her self-worth,
Hmm.
and what matters. And in cases like this, it's your life.
That's right.
So choose that. You know what I'm saying? Choose that, and especially if you're in a relationship like I was, because it was a big deal to me because I really, really loved this guy.
Hmm.
Um, but I had to have someone, I chose someone that was supportive, and I thank God for that,
Yeah.
in the whole process. But when it comes to life and death, though, and in your mind, getting well, because cancer is, as we know, it is what it is. Like
Oh
it's
yeah.
very, very, it can be one way one day, and then the next day, it's all over. So do what you have to do for yourself so you can live and be happy. And I am a spiritual person. I know I play a lot.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm very I play a whole lot. I listen to the nastiest music and everything. But let me tell you, when I know God,
Hmm.
um, the conversations, the relationships that I have with Him,
Hmm.
um, it's amazing, and that is what got me through. Really, because a
Yeah.
lot of the situation that I went through with this diagnosis, I did it alone.
Mm.
I really did. I remember um coming out, I guess my coming out thing was my birthday post. And
Hmm.
I think you commented on it, when I just I was reflecting and
Hmm.
just saying what I had been through, with that diagnosis. And the only thing that got me through was my faith in God. The
Yeah.
only thing that really got me through it, because I'm telling you, I had gave up. I was ready for death, even at stage one.
Hmm.
So I can't imagine. I feel bad, that I felt that way when some women go in, and men,
Hmm.
they go in at stage 3 and 4.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it was a blessing to me that I have another chance.
Hmm.
You know, that's how I feel about it. I really do.
So
Yeah.
now, do people ever come to you and ask you like how everything is going, or if there's any recurrence or anything like that? Do people like encourage you to go to others and tell your story? I mean, what is it like for you, or do you just hold it close
Um,
to yourself?
Well, you know what? It's funny because when I saw that you were wanting people to come out and talk about it, I have had another person to come, and she wanted me to do like a photo, um, just telling my story pretty much, and I wasn't ready
Hmm.
because I didn't want the label as the woman with cancer. I didn't want the sympathy, I didn't want the attention in that way.
Hmm.
Um, so but I do want to help people. That's the difference. And I want to help people, but I don't want to do it. Well, I didn't want to do it out loud. I don't
Hmm.
think I was ready for it.
Hmm.
Um, but what made me want to is because when it was just myself,
Hmm.
I wish that I had like people in the same situation that I was
Hmm.
in, so they could kind of lead me and guide me,
Hmm.
on what to do. You know what I mean? But I
Hmm.
do have supportive. I have cousins. I have an auntie who was diagnosed that I could have went to, but I just
Hmm.
didn't want them to worry about me. To
Right. You didn't want that pity, right?
right,
Yeah.
right. I don't want to be known as the girl who has cancer. Like I just never wanted that label, and people will put it on you real quick.
Oh
You
yeah.
know what I'm
They
saying?
will. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
every time you see me, don't ask me how I'm doing because I'm
Right.
doing good, you know?
They
You
know
know what
I
I'm
look.
saying? Right. I'm doing really, really well, thank God. But yeah, I just didn't want that sympathy, that kind of attention. I didn't want it. But now I see it as a helping thing. I really do. To see someone with the same color, face, you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Hmm.
That has been through the same thing.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah. I think I'm ready to be supportive in that way.
Okay. So if you could give, some lady out there that's watching right now and it was just or man, like you said,
Mhm.
if they just got diagnosed, what advice, would you give them?
I hate to sound like cliche. If you believe in anything, my person is God. Reach out, pray, have faith. Don't do like I did and go on and call people like, oh, it's over. I'll be dead. And you know what I'm saying? Don't do that.
Speak life.
Hey, have a little faith.
Mm-hmm.
And then do find one or two people that can support you, that can go to the doctors with you. Like I said, I didn't have that, but I did have the staff at the cancer center to help me throughout that. But just rely on one or two people if you can, that you trust and that mean you well, to support you in that way. And for people who kind of not throw away, but the referral paper that they give you when you have to go, okay, so you're 40, go. Do not wait until a year later or two.
Right.
I mean, time matters. It really does. It really, really does. And I'm so thankful that mine was caught early. Yeah. I mean, that was the difference in that. But like I said, my dad,
Yep.
he had a feeling, and he had that what do you call it, tuition type thing?
Intuition.
Yeah, he did. Something made him tell me that years ago to get that exam. I mean, out of nowhere. So
Just riding down the highway.
yeah. So that's why I say like discernment and fasting and praying. I don't know if I spoke on that though, but
Not
when
the
it comes
fasting aspect.
holistic things, when it comes to if you are diagnosed, fast, of course, pray, turmeric, garlic, all of those things that the doctors won't tell you about. They'll just give you the pills to take, but certainly do those things too. I would suggest. Yeah.
So the holistic things you're talking about, like the turmeric and the garlic, what exactly do they do? I know turmeric, people swear by it to help them lose weight, and like garlic is like a natural antibiotic. So together, what do they do?
Inflammation.
Oh, okay.
And I think a lot of the causes of the diseases that we have, especially like our gut area, cleansing, colon cleanse, a lot of that contributes to cancer and other diseases.
Oh, yeah.
And I know for a fact how I still do eat. I do not eat the healthiest. And I know in the past, those things would cause constipation and things just to back up in your body. So we need to release it. We have to release the toxins out to, get the good ones in. So fruit, watermelon, veggies, turmeric, garlic, black seed oil, all the things. I'm telling you, when I was diagnosed, I went to the store, I was researching, I was getting all of the things. Right now I'm taking sea moss, which is really good. It helps with your skin and just your spirit. Yeah, so all of those things, you want to do all of that, as well as take the doctor's advice too. But like I said, right now I'm on letrozole, and I started with tamoxifen. I had to take that for 5 years, but since I had the hysterectomy, they put me on letrozole.
Okay, and
so that's
what are those two? What are those two medicines for?
It's kind of like radiation and chemo in a pill. That's pretty much what it is. I suffer with hair loss. I have the night sweats, so many side effects. Even my last doctor's appointment, she asked me, was I taking the medication like I should? I said no, because it has so many side effects. But I do have to take that for, I'm on my 5th year, but they may have me take it for 2 more years just to be safe, but it's supposed to stop the cancer from coming back. But along with that, I'm still doing my holistic things, and I'm still praying and fasting. So,
And you go every 6 months for a checkup, or?
well, now it's every 6 months. 6 months. It was 3 months. Since it's so far along, I think they're going to try to start seeing me once a year now.
Well,
So,
I'm glad to hear that. And then
yeah.
you know, I want to be a little nosy, but we may end up cutting this out. But I'm so glad when you were talking about you had someone special in your life that was part, you know, of your support system.
Girl, he still is. He's not my man,
Oh,
but he's like a
as
great
long as he's
friend
still
to
in your
me.
life, yeah.
Yeah, he was there. I told him he knows a lot of things that my mama doesn't even know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he was very supportive, very, very supportive in everything that I did, and I had to go through. So very thankful for that. Yeah. Like
But
I
you,
said, if you can find that one, your girlfriend or whoever, that one person that's gonna stick with you, um, through the appointments, through the surgery and stuff like that, just hold on to them. You know what I'm saying? So you
oh
won't
yeah.
have to go through it alone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything else, you know, that you want to share that can, you know, change someone's life or someone's world with what you've gone through and how you made it through?
Like I said, I really, really want women and men to get your checkups. Like, go to the doctor, let them do the whole exam, do everything they need to do so you can get, if there's something going on, you can get it diagnosed sooner than later. Yeah, that sooner than later, do that. And then again, the foods that we have to eat, and I'm talking to myself with that, we have to kind of like, we got to do better. We have to do better with the processed foods.
Mm-hmm.
We have to do better with, you know what I'm saying, taking our vitamins and cleaning our colons and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. I swear by it. You have to do that, just to be healthy. And then
Absolutely.
spiritually,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
I mean, stress. It's. I think it has been noted that stress can cause illness.
It
So
can. Yeah,
yeah, we
definitely.
need to be careful with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we really do. But that's all.
Okay, well, I appreciate you coming on here and being
I
so
appreciate
open
you.
and sharing everything. And I know that this episode is going to touch so many lives.
I
And
hope so.
I just love you from the bottom of my heart. And it was amazing and great, you know, talking to you. And I
I
hope
love you
to
too.
see you and talk
Okay.
to you soon. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Embracing the Fight. I thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this amazing message. And I thank my friend so much for coming on to share her thoughts, to share her journey so she can help others heal. Have an absolutely amazing day.